Hello, my name is Eileen Perez. I'm the food pantry specialist with City Team in the neighborhood in San Jose. Today we'll be going over the FoodBank Manager system, which is the system we use to track how many households and total individuals City Team as a whole serves. This information also goes to Second Harvest Food Bank at the end of the month in our continuation with the partnership with them, which is where we receive the food boxes. So now with this, you just want to make sure you sign in. Once you have signed in, you will go to New Visit. Once on New Visit, you want to select your outreach. So depending on which outreach you are, just make sure you select the correct one because on here there is an abundance of outreaches. So select the one that you are at for your particular day. For today, I will select one of our pantries, which is Mayfair. So here we go. If you already have guests who have a barcode, so they have the City Team card, on the back is a barcode with 6 digits. You will go ahead and enter in their barcode. Once you enter in that barcode, you will always be taken to this General tab where you have access to their information here. And from there, you will want to go to Create New Visit in order to get them checked in for that particular site. So in order to check them in for that site, for that day and visit, you'll go to Create New Visit. You want to be sure you check mark all the boxes. The help desired, it may also depend on which outreach you're at. For the majority of our sites, it is USDA, but there may sometimes be other help desired options, such as hygiene bags and items like that, but you'll just want to make sure you select what you are giving out at that particular pantry. So create new visit, check mark all the tabs. As of right now, the majority of the guests will have COVID or COVID-19 signed in as a signature, and that is due to the pandemic. We have been given the okay by USDA to go ahead and sign ourselves, so we do not give our devices over to the guest to sign themselves as of right now. If it is the very first distribution, then it'll be a yes if it is their first time receiving from you at the pantry for the month. So first distributions will be a yes. When it comes to second distributions, you'll just check in to ask the guest if this is the first or second time receiving food from you guys that month. We're just going to use a day as a first distribution. So again, create new visit tab, enter in the barcode, create new visit tab, check mark all the boxes, and yes. You'll save the visit. Every time you check somebody in, they will be populating down here at the bottom. I'll go ahead and show you again. So you're on the barcode tab. You will enter in their barcode from the back of the City Team card. Once you enter that in, you'll be sent to the General tab. And then in order to check them in for the visit, you'll create new visit. Check mark all the boxes. It's the very first distribution, so it'll be their first time receiving the food this month with you. Save visit. And again, it'll populate down at the bottom. If for whatever reason the guest did forget their card, you can search for them by their name. So you'll click on the search tab. And then this is where you'll want to ask to see their ID. Again, if for whatever reason they forgot their ID, piece of mail will also work. Something with their first and last name. That makes it just that much easier to be able to search for the person. Because if not, then it can be a little tricky sometimes. So for today, I will just use my name, Perez, with the semicolon, so you just want to follow along. And you want to make sure that you also insert a first name, because if you just use a last name, you'll have an abundance of entries. As you can see, this one has 190 entries. So make sure you just follow along, last name and then first name. Now we have only 4 entries instead of 190. So yes, important to make sure last name and first name. With the ID, you would be able to identify which is the correct guest, because we want to make sure it's as accurate as possible. But again, if for whatever reason they forgot their ID, you want to go ahead and ask them, what is your address? That way they are reading it off to you and you can choose the correct person. We don't want to ask the guests if these are their addresses, because we want to make sure we're not giving out anybody's information. So search for them by their name, ask them what their address is, and if they say, 1297 North 13th Street, apartment Y, then we know that this guest here, this Eileen Perez, is the correct guest. So then you will go ahead and select the correct guest. Once you select it, just as if you entered in a barcode for that guest, it'll take you to the General tab. From the General tab, in order to get them checked in, again, go to Create New Visit tab. You'll check mark all the boxes. And first distribution, first time receiving, yes. Say visit. And again, the person will populate down at the bottom. And that is how you search for a person by name. So in order to create a new guest, you'll just request an ID from the guest coming through. And you'll go to the Create New Guest tab. You'll enter in the first and last name. No worries about a middle name. As far as the last name, we know some guests may have more than one, but we like to make sure that we just use the very last name. This makes it easier if for whatever reason they do forget their card the next time to search for their name. So please use the last name unless it is hyphened. And then you will have new city team cards with you. So you'll get one of the city team cards, and on the back you'll enter in the 6-digit barcode. And then once that is entered, you'll just continue moving forward. You'll ask how many total individuals are within the household. And for this example, we'll use 4. Then ask how many kids and how many adults. We'll say 2 kids and 2 adults. And then I usually like to ask, is there anybody over 60? For this example, we'll use that they said yes, 1 person over 60. So now I know there's 1 person between 19 and 59 and another person over 60. And then making sure you enter in the address. All of this information is entered in. And once this is entered in, you'll go ahead and move on and ask what their primary language is. So for this example, we'll just leave it as English, but as you can see, there is a number of different languages that we're able to choose from. You want to request for the best cell phone number to reach them, because City Team does send out text message reminders to the guests about the pantries. Continue and fill in the remaining information. You can ask if they're currently working or not. The type of guest will be regular clients. Relationship will be self. And then another important one is the location. So just like outreach, as you can see, there is a number of different locations here. So you'll just want to make sure you go ahead and select the pantry that you are at. Once all the information is in, you can go ahead and save. After saving, it'll take you to this general tab, so just as if you had entered in a barcode, you will be taken here where you have access to the information. But then in order to actually check the guest in for that particular visit, you'll go to the Create New Visit tab. You'll check mark all the boxes. Since it is a brand new guest, even if it was a second distribution, it would be yes. And then in order to show you how to request the signature, I will be showing you from the point of view of a cell phone, a mobile device. On a laptop or computer, you won't be able to request the signature, but on mobile devices, this FoodBank Manager system does look the exact same as it does on a computer. So you will see how to request the signature. You'll go ahead and make sure all the boxes are check marked. Press the Request Signature button. That'll take you to the USDA Terms and Conditions, which you will scroll down all the way to the bottom. Select I accept. After selecting I accept, it'll take you to the signature box. You will go ahead and sign COVID or COVID-19. And then I accept. And then now the signature is in there, and you can go ahead and push the Save Visit in order to complete the check-in process of the visit. And just like that, you will see that person again populate down at the bottom. So for FoodBank Manager, these are the 3 tabs you will be using. If the guest already has a City Team card, makes it much easier. You'll enter in the barcode, get them checked in that way. If for whatever reason they forget their card, you will select Search, follow along by entering last name, semicolon, and then their first name. Remember to request to see an ID so you can ensure the spelling is correct. And you're selecting the person with the correct address. We really want to make sure that is a option used is the ID to make sure you're selecting that correct person. Again, if for whatever reason they do not have one, a piece of mail will suffice, but preferably always would love to see an ID. Same with creating a new guest. Create new guest for very first time clients. Entering their information, first name, last name, barcode, how many individuals in their household, their address, preferred language, best cell phone number, and then filling in the rest. So I will also be providing a step-by-step sheet for those of you as well who will be consistently using FoodBank Manager as registration personnel. If you do have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me either by email or by my phone number. Thank you.